What's up, guys? I don't know if y'all been following the story or not, but this man's ministry changed my life over 10 years ago. I don't believe in everything that he teaches, but then again, nobody knows the truth of everything. But this guy's ministry is probably, to me, this guy's ministry is number one in the world. I haven't seen anybody's ministry that compares to him except for Jesus. But like I said, this guy can turn an atheist into a believer. I mean, his stuff is just off the charts. But anyway, this guy has been locked up for almost a decade for tax evasion charges. And when you look into what they are, is basically had a creation science museum that he didn't even make no money off of. It was basically a 501c3 thing, a non-profit organization, and because of his ministry, they went and flipped it on him. And you know, if you don't do what they want you to do in a 501c3, guess what? You get locked up. And anyway, it goes on to say that he's been incarcerated for, I think, since late 90s or whatever, I don't know. But it says now on February 9th, which is a couple days ago, 2015, he is scheduled to begin a new trial for using the prison mail system fraudulently to appeal his previous convictions. I didn't know that was fraudulent to try to appeal. Hadn't that been done for decades and decades? But anyway, this is some of the seminars he's done that changed my life. Garden of Eden, Dinosaurs in the Bible. I mean, his lies in the textbooks. I mean, his stuff is phenomenal. And then you got crap like this. Al Sharpton, that can't even go to jail for owing $4.5 million. But anyway, look at this. This is also I can leave the link. This is his. I haven't been through this. I don't know what's all on here, but there's a lot of his videos on YouTube. But this is Kent Hovind even speaking out against the Illuminati. You know, you just do not do that.
The Masonic Lodge. Now here's where I'll get 100 phone calls, I'm sure. I'm prepared for them, believe me, okay? Here is the General Albert Pike, who was during his time 100 years ago, was the world leader of the Masonic Lodge. He said, "That which we must say to the crowd is, we worship a God, but it is the God that one adores without superstition. To you, sovereign grand inspectors general, we say this, that you may repeat it to the brethren of the 32nd, 31st, and 30th degrees. The Masonic religion should be, by all of us initiates of the highest degrees, maintained in the purity of the Luciferian doctrine." Yes, Lucifer is God. Very few Masons understand what they're in until they get to the very top, and then all of a sudden they realize, wow, this is a satanic organization. Ask a Mason if he's allowed to pray in the Masonic Lodge in the name of Jesus. Watch what happens. I gave this book right here, Masonry Beyond the Light, to one of the guys in our church at Marcus Point Baptist who was a Mason, been in it for years. He said, "Brother Hovind, somebody told me you don't like the Masons." I said, "Oh, I've got many good friends that are Masons. They do a lot of good. It's a do-gooders club. But when you get to the top, you realize it's satanic." He said, "Oh, it is not. I've been in it for years." I said, "Okay, I don't want to argue with you. Read this book. When you're done, give me a call. We'll talk, okay?" He came back 2 weeks later, handed me the book. He said, "I want you to know I quit the Masonic Lodge, and I've encouraged about 6 of my friends to quit the Masonic Lodge." He said, "It's a satanic organization, isn't it?" I said, "Yes, sir." It certainly. But see, they will run you down a particular track if they think, you know, you're a religious person. Like Billy Graham is a Mason, or was made an honorary Mason, I guess. They will try to get religious people in there and make them a Mason, and they come to the meetings and they think, wow, this is a do-gooders club, you know, et cetera, and they never do find out what they're in. They spend a lifetime thinking, you know, everything's fine. Criswell at the First Baptist Church in Dallas, you know, Pastor Criswell, a Mason. The list of Masons will surprise you. There's some really, really, really good people in there who just are flat duped, in my opinion. They don't have a clue what they're in. Manly Hall, in his book called The Lost Keys of Freemasonry, said, "When the Mason learns that the key to the warrior on the block is the proper application of the dynamo of living power, he has learned the mystery of his craft. The seething energies of Lucifer are in his hands, and before he may step onward and upward, he must prove his ability to properly handle energy." Scarlet and the Beast, I met with the author of this book. He's a friend of mine in Texas. He has written several books on the Masonic Lodge and how it ties in. If you really want to go down deep, stay down long, all the documented stuff on the Masonic Lodge. He works under a pseudonym, calls himself John Henry. That is not his real name, because he knows they'll kill him if they can find him. That's the way they work, by the way. We can go all day on this. If you want more on Masons, I would suggest you read one of these books. This one's available from Chick Publication, Masonry Beyond the Light. Really good book. John Ankerberg has a great videotape and book on the Masonic Lodge. I've been on John Ankerberg's program. He and I would differ on several things, but he's a great guy. You know, I would consider him a friend of mine. He's got a good book if you want more on the Masonic Lodge. The Bible says in Matthew chapter 5, swear not at all. Pretty clear, right? Here's the oath the Masons have to swear. This is one of the first oaths. They have all sorts of them at every level. The Mason, to get in the lodge, will say, I, he puts his name in here, do hereby swear that I will always conceal and never reveal any of the secrets of Freemasonry to any person. If I do, I consent to having my throat cut from ear to ear, my tongue torn out by the roots, my body buried in the sands of the sea at low water mark. Can you imagine Jesus saying something like that? No Christian should be in the Masonic Lodge, period. Okay? If you are, you ought to get right with God and get out. Okay? I know you think you're in a do-gooders club. I've got some very close friends, some relatives that are in the Masonic Lodge that have been in it for years and don't see a thing wrong with it. They will, Judgment Day. They'll realize their time and their money and their energy has gone to support a satanic cause, and they should have been putting it into God's cause. James chapter 5, the Bible says, above all things, my brethren, swear not. Now, satanic groups will take certain holidays just like Christians have holidays. Okay? 33rd degree Mason is an honorary title. In the Masonic Lodge, 33 degrees is very important. 33rd day of the year happens to be February 2nd, which is called what? Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day, right. Remember the movie Groundhog Day? The guy got to do the same day over and over till he got it just right, you know. February 2nd is the first satanic holiday of the year, is my understanding. Just like we would celebrate Christmas or Easter or something, they will celebrate February 2nd as the first satanic holiday because it is the 33rd day of the year. 1933, Roosevelt passed the War Powers Act. He ordered all private gold turned in to the government. Remember he showed you the Federal Reserve notes, 1928. It says you can redeem this for gold. 1934, doesn't say that anymore. Matter of fact, if you owned gold, you were considered an enemy of the state and could go to prison. It was treason to own gold. 1933, Rockefeller sent money to set up Adolf Hitler in Germany. Two 33rd degree Masons, Laurel and Hardy, how many have heard of them? Made a movie called Sons of the Desert with all sorts of secret Masonic stuff in it. You have to watch the movie very carefully. The Masons will see these things. For instance, as Joseph Smith, the founder of the Moron Church, was dying, he was being shot, okay? He gave the Masonic distress symbol, which is like this. If you put your arm, it's supposed to be part of a square, okay? Any Mason who sees that is obligated under their Masonic oath to come to your aid and help you. If a man is a Mason in court and he knows the judge is a Mason, there are different symbols, things that they do, handshakes, grips, you know, the way they stand. They'll put their hand like this, the lawyer will. That's a sign, Judge, you better help me here. I'm having trouble with this case and I've got to win this case. And you're a Mason and I'm a Mason. Now come on, help me out here, fella. They've got loads of these things, these secret things going on that the average person is never going to catch. 1933, Vice President Henry Wallace, who was an occultist, worshipped into the occult, decided to put the Great Seal on the $1 bill. Here's a picture of the Great Seal, the all-seeing eye. Now, I take a lot of flack for this. People have argued for centuries, or for decades, what this symbol represents. Let me tell you one of the theories, all right? The eye on top represents Lucifer, the all-seeing eye. There's a gap between the eye and the pyramid, symbolizing their job of accomplishing a new world order is not quite done yet. Lucifer has not yet been installed as the chief cornerstone. Now see, Jesus Christ is actually going to be the chief cornerstone, but Lucifer wants to, you know, he wants that job. There are 13 rows of stones. Very interesting. There were 13 degrees in the blue lodges of the Masonic Lodge. Behind the pyramid on the dollar bill, you will notice there's nothing, desert. In front of the pyramid, you got things growing, some bushes and grass and things like that. This symbolizes that they think they will bring the world out of this desert, terrible times, into a wonderful, lush Garden of Eden type of thing. On the bottom is a date in Roman numerals. Anybody know that date on there? Bottom of the $1 of the pyramid? 1776 in Roman numerals. 1776 is, of course, a famous date in America, but it's also the date the Illuminati was started. A guy named Adam Weishaupt started a group called the Illuminati, the Enlightened Ones. That'd be a good quiz question there, Becky. Adam Weishaupt started a group called the Illuminati. They had secret meetings to decide how to control the world. Their group was exposed, and they went underground. It has resurfaced numerous times, and this, of course, the individual players die off, but the cause continues. And they still have their plans for the one world government, New World Order. 1933, the first Humanist Manifesto was signed. One of the signers of this was a guy named John Dewey. John Dewey is the father of our educational system here in America. John Dewey was in Vermont at a teacher's college. He was a humanist. He wanted, he claimed to be an atheist, and he said, I'm going to take over the teacher's college, worked his way till he became the top, and then he influenced all the people coming through that teacher's college, which later went out and became presidents of other teachers' colleges. And John Dewey had just an incredible impact on our educational system, leading it toward socialism, communism, New World Order type stuff, which is where we are now. Adam Weishaupt, the founder of the Illuminati, said, the most wonderful thing of all is that the distinguished Lutheran and Calvinist theologians who belong to our order really believe that they see in it, that's the Illuminati, the true and genuine sense of Christian religion. O mortal man, is there anything you cannot be made to believe? It was all a hoax, and many Christians, people claiming to be Christians, fell right in line and started getting into this. There are Christians today in some of these groups that really think that's going to be good for the world. They're going to find out they're working for Satan after it's too late. If you want more books on the New World Order type stuff, there's all sorts of good books you can read. The Federal Reserve certainly tied in. We covered that earlier. Dave Hunt has a great book, A Woman Rides the Bee, showing the Catholic Church and their involvement. Average Catholic doesn't have a clue about what really goes on behind the scenes when you get up to the top of the Catholic Church. Then they find out, wow, this is really wicked. And there's an awful lot of good people that are Catholics. They don't find out the truth till it's too late.